I'm Katie Couric. Tonight, inside the minds of America's combat forces. A first-of-its-kind study reveals how much the war is affecting their mental health and behavior. And this is their #1 enemy. Tonight, you'll see and hear what it's like to be hit by a roadside bomb. Also tonight, protests and the announcement of a federal investigation after that clash between Los Angeles police and demonstrators at an immigration rally. Rediscovering America will take you back to the very foundations of our history. And they went back to their roots, and it's one very sweet story in Steve Hartman's Assignment America.
This is the CBS Evening News with Katie Couric.
Hello, everyone. Tonight, a dramatic new assessment of how the war in Iraq, now into its 5th year with no end in sight, is affecting the mental state of our armed forces, the way they think and the way they behave. From the Pentagon tonight, here's our national security correspondent, David Martin.
It is a first ever and disturbing measure of the toll combat is taking on the values of American troops in Iraq.
They looked under every rock, and what they found was not always easy to look at.
A mental health survey conducted last year found 10% of soldiers and Marines mistreated civilians, hitting or kicking them, and damaged property for no good reason. Only 47% of soldiers and 38% of Marines thought non-combatants deserved to be treated with dignity and respect. Less than half the troops said they would report a fellow soldier for unethical behavior. And the list goes on.
Well over a third of all soldiers and Marines reported that torture should be allowed to save the life of a fellow soldier or Marine.
Findings like that make you wonder why there aren't more cases like Sergeant Frank Wuterich and his platoon of Marines killing innocent women and children at Haditha. According to this groundbreaking survey, it's hard to think straight in the midst of combating casualties. Just listen to the stress in the soldier's video diary.
It was pretty bad. My driver got hit in the leg. We know one guy burnt to death.
These men and women have been seeing their friends injured.
So drill sergeants like Mike Brown shouted out, "Don't go to your dark side."
Who thinks they know what in the Marine Corps we feel about honor?
Honor is doing the right thing when no one is looking, sir.
At Parris Island, the training is tough, but Christian Cavanaugh found out the mental part, the difference between right and wrong on the battlefield, is tougher.
You get angry, you want to hit something, you want to act angry, you want to act out, and you want to swear. But here, it's teaching you how to keep your bearing and how to stay focused.
Now, for the first time, the American military has hard data on how those values stand up to the real thing.
This is the first time that questions of this nature have ever been asked soldiers or Marines in combat.
The study also found the longer a soldier serves in Iraq, the more likely he is to suffer mental health problems.
And that was before a soldier's tour of duty was increased to 15 months. David Martin, CBS News, the Pentagon.
Meanwhile, the casualty count continues to rise. The military says 5 more U.S. soldiers were killed in the past 2 days, 3 of them by roadside bombs in and around Baghdad. And in the Shiite stronghold of Sadr City, American-led forces rounded up 16 suspected members of a smuggling ring believed to have brought in armor-piercing weapons from Iran. There is nothing American soldiers in Iraq fear more than roadside bombs, or IEDs as they're known. Tonight we're going to get you as close to experiencing an IED attack as you can without actually being there. In this report by Alan Pizzi, you'll see an attack through a soldier's eyes, and we caution you, the language is understandably raw.
Specialist Jordan Sperlin has been driving a Humvee in Baghdad for 10 months. He calls it my truck.
I had pictures up, but, then I started getting homesick, so I took them down.
Like every one of the tens of thousands of U.S. troops who roll down Iraq's roads every day, he knows he's a target because he's already been hit 4 times.
It's the same area where they got hit with the IED yesterday?
70% of U.S. casualties in Iraq are caused by IEDs, the roadside bombs that continuously mutate and evolve into more powerful and deadly forms.
It's real nerve-wracking the night before you have a mission going to sleep.
Sperlin has a Purple Heart and a unique perspective on the war. With the help of a home video, he can tell you exactly how it looks and feels to be a millisecond from death.
You're scanning, you're focused so hard on the road, like you can't even, you just focus so hard on the road.
And suddenly, the view goes blurry.
Right when it hits, first you feel a blast wave come across you, and then you hear the sound, and then you feel like the actual explosion itself. You go like this, and you're looking away, and the whole time you're thinking, hey, I hope I'm all right. I'm completely terrified to look to my left. That's where my door is, because I think my door is gone. And then I look over, my door's fine, and then with this hand I brush down my entire body, make sure I'm all right, and then I look at everybody else in the truck. Are you guys all right? And everybody's fine.
You right, folks? Yeah, I'm good. Okay. Everybody all right? Go.
And then the greatest adrenaline rush of all, the profane joy of being alive.
Woo! I have a headache right now. Go. Damn. Damn, my gun is dirty. They broke my beard. We're good. Woo! We're good. That was loud, man. Hey, that's 4. Yep.
It's what Shakespeare was talking about when he wrote of a band of brothers. You only understand it if you've been through a battle and survived. But it's also a very personal and lonely thing.
At nighttime, like I said, when I'm in the shower, you know, and I'm in the shower, and I'm just like, okay, is this going to be the last time I'm going to take a shower? You know, if I know I have a mission the next day.
So how do those who have to run the roads, risk the IEDs, cope with the knowledge of what awaits them every morning?
It's like, I can't let it cripple me with fear. You know, everybody's afraid. You just have to go out there and just do it.
24-year-old specialist Jordan Sperlin has just re-enlisted. Alan Pizzi, CBS News, Baghdad.
The regional conference on the future of Iraq wrapped up today in Egypt, but Secretary of State Rice never did meet with Iran's foreign minister. He was supposed to be seated across from Rice at a dinner last night, but the minister boycotted the evening. His official reason, a female violinist who was performing there wore a dress that was too revealing. There was, however, a meeting between lower-level U.S. and Iranian diplomats. Now to a tragedy in the Atlantic. A boat jam with as many as 150 Haitians capsized today off the Turks and Caicos Islands. Many are still missing in the shark-infested waters. Kelly Kobaya has the latest.
By the time the Coast Guard was called in to help, only a dozen survivors were waiting to be rescued. The Haitian migrants were a half-mile from the coast of Providenciales, an island in the Turks and Caicos, when their 30-foot wooden sailboat capsized. As many as 150 were on board.
It's a sad situation. It's one of the worst tragedies we have had in the Turks and Caicos.
Even more so because Turks and Caicos Island police had been tugging the boat through rough seas when it capsized. Island police pulled 78 men and women from the water alive. 36 were found dead, some in the open water, others trapped below deck. They're still not sure if they've found everyone. Already this year, the Coast Guard has stopped 1,171 Haitian migrants trying to get into the U.S., just 27 short of the total for all of last year.
Turks and Caicos police are talking to survivors tonight, trying to figure out how many people were on board and how many they may have missed. Kelly Kobaya, CBS News, Miami.
And now to California. The fallout continues from that May Day clash between immigration protesters and the Los Angeles Police Department, with the federal government now looking into it for any civil rights violations. Here's Bill Whitaker.
With the reaction turning rancorous over this LAPD use of force, the FBI now is launching an investigation. Mayor Villaraigosa cut short a business trip to Mexico to take care of business back home.
If the chief believes that the FBI should be involved, I would embrace that.
City leaders, like many citizens, were stunned by this melee. Police say they were clearing MacArthur Park after a few dozen protesters hit them with bottles and rocks. 8 police officers were hurt. Investigators still are trying to determine the number of injured civilians. Sacramento Hinojosa dodged police firing rubber bullets. Then he says they knocked him down, stepped on him, cutting his hand, twisting his ankle.
I don't know why the police come and push me like this. I don't do nothing bad.
Fox photographer Patty Balaz shot these pictures before she was knocked down, her reporter manhandled. Today, bruised and battered, she filed suit against the LAPD.
One of them said, okay, let's do double time because it's tussle time, and laughing.
It's tussle time?
Tussle time.
In all, 4 investigations have been launched, 2 by the LAPD, 1 by the Civilian Oversight Committee, and now the FBI. The LAPD paid more than $4 million and promised to respect journalists' rights after roughing up protesters at the 2000 Democratic Convention. Today, the police union says the whole story is not on this videotape.
Well, I'm concerned right now the fact that there's a rush to judgment before getting all the facts, which is troubling to me, and to be quite frankly with you, very appalling.
One thing all can agree, no one likes what they see here. Bill Whitaker, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And there's a lot more CBS News ahead. Coming up next, Jeff Greenfield on the first Republican presidential face-off. Did the FaceTime pay off?